This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio at its finest, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. What is it, Wednesday? I don't even know what day it is. Hey, you know what? You really ain't doing good. When you get up in the morning, I never forget to brush my teeth because of my bad breath, so I always remember that, but I never kind of remember what day it is. But today's Wednesday? Wednesday. Again, who the hell cares? Who the hell cares? Except for the religious people on Sunday to go to church. Who the hell cares what day it is? These ass-white bastard politicians got us working 7 days a week. You know, they talk about all the crime, all the crap going on. Part of it's because of our the biggest part's because of our politicians. Back in the day, a father could work, a mother would stay home with her children. They'd get proper guidance. Now with these rotten bastard thieving, no good son of a bitch and political parasitical punks that we call politicians, perverted politicians, Daddy's got to work 3 jobs. Mama's got to work 2. Hell, I don't even know if the kids know who their parents are or the parents know who the kids are. And I'm not being melodramatic. It's a fact. People can't spend time with their family anymore. Now here's some asswipe, ignorant son of a bitch. I'm on the air. They know I'm on the air. This is one of my attorneys. Now the no good son of a bitch knows I'm on the air. Denny Watkins, what an idiot. You know I'm on the air. And he just called me. Now, I'm going to call you, Denny, when you're in a murder trial. I'm going to call you. No, hey, Bob, I'm going to a big murder trial today, and I'm going to call you at 10 o'clock when you're in there giving your opening argument. Denny Watkins, my good buddy, he's a trustee for the radio station. But he's an idiot sometimes. Dennis Watkins, my buddy, the idiot. But anyway, with me in just a little bit, and what an egregious story. Now, I want to let you know this is not on the Belleville Police Department. Because there's a whole lot of great professional police officers, not only in Belleville, all throughout this great country of ours. But this is a story about Peggy Hubbard's husband. Peggy lives in Belleville. Her husband's a Hillsdale police officer in the North County Police District. And he gets shot, and I'm going to let her tell the story in a little bit. He gets shot on July the 3rd. Well, I'll let you tell it, but it's egregious how and it's got to be Chief Clay, because he's the head of the police department, and it's got to be Mayor Maximus Vaginas, Mark Eckert, who's the mayor, who is the head of the chief, who's the head of the police department. You're going to hear this story, and you're going to see how uncompassionate, if that's a word, uncompassionate this Eckert and Bill Clay, and let me throw in Captain Moody, because I don't like that rotten son of a bitch either. He's a black guy, and I don't care if he's black or white. You know, he treats people like crap. You got a badge, shove that badge up your ass, buddy. You're not a professional police officer. You're a bum with the badge. You know the clown car I drive? People keep telling me, watch out, Romanik, they're going to set me up and kiss my ass, is what I say. I'll fight you bastards day in and day out. It's not right. It's not right. Well, you political bastards. See, I don't classify Captain Mooney and Chief Clay as police officers. They're politicians with badges. They're bums with badges. But we'll get to Peggy Hubbard, if I could talk. We'll get to Peggy Hubbard here momentarily. Friends of LaToya in Greenwood. That's my opposition for state representative. She sends out a letter. This is her 4th fundraiser. Now I ask all you good people. I know some of these politicians and people running for office need a little bit of help, but not 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 fundraisers. But she puts in this letter, I've been tirelessly walking door to door throughout the 114th district. You're a damn liar. Come up here on the air, and I'll ask you some of the areas in your district to see if you've been walking them. And if you have, I'll donate $10,000 to your lame-ass campaign. It's a damn lie. What the hell these people want to put this crap out? Now, here's what really pisses me off. She's having it in Millstadt. And I'm a proud white guy. I'm sure she's a proud black lady. I'm down in East St. Louis. I hear from my black friends, and I've got a lot of black friends. I've done good for both the black and white community. It's not black and white. When you're a child, you're a child. But I hear them saying, LaToya's down here talking, hey, that hunky, that white son of a bitch, I'm running against that white son of a bitch. And that's okay. I understand that. But now she goes up to Millstadt, where all the white son of a bitches are at. I bet you she don't say she's running against the white son of a bitch in Millstadt. And maybe that's not politically correct for me to say that. But see, I don't give a damn. I swear to you. I had a white guy, last week say, hey, Romanik, I'm voting for you. And I said, well, I appreciate that. He said, yeah, I'd never vote for that N. And he used the N-word. And I was a little offended by that. He didn't call me the N-word. He called LaToya Greenwood. I was offended by that. But I was more offended when he's going to vote for me because I'm white. I said, hey, you idiot, vote for me because you think I'll be able to go to Springfield and do something for you in the district. Don't give a damn. Don't vote for me. People in Millstadt, don't vote for me because I'm white. Vote for me because I'm going to fight for you good people. But LaToya, you can't have it both ways, honey. You're either going to use the race card throughout the campaign. You can't use it down in East St. Louis and then not use it up in the white area. And that offends me. Again, someone last night, Bob Romanik, you shouldn't be saying that. It's going to stir up crap. I don't give a damn. But LaToya, don't sit down in East St. Louis. And I don't mind you calling me a hunky. See, those words don't ever bother me. I don't give a damn. You can call me a hunky, a hunky cracker, or, Oreo. I don't give a damn what you call me. It doesn't really make me any difference. But don't be a hypocrite. Don't be a hypocrite like the son of a bitches that you're running with. And then what really, and I understand her, says, I need your financial help. I can't be, hell, what are you talking about, LaToya? You're making $80,000, $90,000 a year down at the school district that your daddy give you a do-nothing job as Director of Human Services. You're making $30,000, $40,000 a year as a councilwoman for East St. Louis. And then Garrett Harner, your campaign manager, that fat-ass son of a bitch, that attorney, gets a ruling, I believe, from Madigan, Attorney General Madigan, that if she gets elected state representative, she can be a state representative, she can be a city council member, she can keep her job in the Human Services Director. And I got to say, if you're in Springfield 3 weeks out of the month, how the hell can you do your job as Human Relations Director? But then I find out that her daddy, Alonzo Greenwood, they're hiring a consultant to consult with LaToya at $100, not $100 a day, $100 an hour, $800 a day, consulting when LaToya goes to Springfield. Now, LaToya, I understand the greediness, but your generous support of my campaign will help me continue my race for state representative in the 114th district. Hell yeah, we'll get you another $100,000. What the hell's wrong with you people? She's going to make sure our schools are getting their fair share of funding and restore. Wait a minute. This idiot, she's part of the culture of corruption. Listen to this. And I'm reading this verbatim. Now more than ever, we need elected officials who understand the problems that our community are facing. Hell, I agree with LaToya, and are willing to make the tough choices to get our state back on track. You stupid idiot, you're going to do what daddy tells you to do after Kern tells your daddy what to tell you what to do. If you know what I mean, and I think you do. How the hell you put this crap out? If the paper wasn't so hard, I'd use it to wipe my ass after I take a crap. But my ass is a little bit too sensitive for that. I am writing to request your financial backing to continue. What the continue what? You ain't started nothing, you idiots. Continue my fight to support working families. Well, you ain't started yet, you and your daddy. And against my opponent. Whoa, wait a minute, she did talk about me. Against my opponent and his Tea Party agenda. I don't even like tea, you idiot. I drink coffee. What a party. Nobody invites me to a party. You know I got no personality. Nobody's going to invite me. They said they didn't say anything about me, but the lady did. The lady did. My opponent, and you're a lousy liar, LaToya. Green Party agenda. Oh, I'm sorry, Tea Party, which is, I guess, not as bad as the Green Party. Tea Party agenda. What the hell is a Tea Party agenda? What is it, the difference between having cake and cookies at the party? LaToya Greenwood, now more than ever, we need elected officials who understands the problems that our community faces and are willing to make tough choices to get our state back on track. We need leaders who will fight to create good-paying jobs. Well, not just for your family, LaToya, and your political supporters, and make our schools safe. Hell, LaToya, I guess you're endorsing Bob Romanik. Thank you, LaToya. We need more than ever elected officials who understand the problems that the communities face. You guys understand them. You just don't do nothing about them. Thank you again for your continued support. And you know who sent this out? Big head, big head, I tell you. Garrett Harner. He's Bob Sprague's assistant. And I used to half-ass like Garrett. But I find out he's making $400 or $500. Now, get your pen and paper together, people. Why do you think? And guess what? Barbecue compliments of Southwestern Illinois Labor's District Council. Beverages compliments of Harner Law Firm. Well, hell yeah. Hey, I'll buy you drinks all night long. He makes $400,000 or $500,000 from her daddy. He's the white boy down there taking money out of East St. Louis. Hey, Garrett, why don't you move your white hunky ass to East St. Louis? You're taking all the money out of the black community. $400,000 or $500,000. Then he works for the county, gets insurance. Then he works for SWIC, Southwestern Illinois College. I hear he makes over $1 million. And Garrett, I'm going to find out because I don't have it in my hand at this point. I can say I do because you can't see me. I've got FOIs, Freedom of Information's going to SWIC today, going to St. Clair County Courthouse today, and going to School District 189 today. I guarantee you people, this son of a bitch is making over $2 million plus minus at the public trough, at the trough of the taxpayers of St. Clair County. And he's the assistant head of the St. Clair County Democratic Culture of Corruption, the St. Clair County Central Committee, Garrett Harner, who's going to take over when Sprague drowns from pissing in his bed, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't have said. I should. Up the hell with it. But LaToya Greenwood. Now, this is a little racist. Now, they're putting this on for LaToya in Millstadt. And guess what they're having for food? Barbecue. Now, that's kind of racist to me. They're having, what were you having barbecue up there because LaToya's black? Garrett Harner, I want to know. Now, you could have filet mignon up there and lobster tails with the money that you get. And I say get, not work for. You get, everything comes back to his office. 5111 West Main in Belleville, Illinois. Garrett Harner, my friend. What an idiot he is. And LaToya, I'll be getting back with you, honey. And I know you guys are going to come out. Oh, wait, here it is. Gold sponsorship. $1,000. Now, LaToya, how disrespectful is that to the good people of East St. Louis? You being a proud black lady. But you know where you sent this to? This is going to white boy town. This ain't going down below the hill. $1,000 gold sponsorship, bronze $250, silver $500, $100. Oh, I can't go, but I'm going to send you money. What the hell? Why do you think anybody's going to give her a gold? I'm not taking a penny, people. I'm financing my own campaign. I'm not going to be bought by anybody. You think these attorneys are giving her $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 when something comes up where the attorney fees can be raised or something can be good for the attorneys or the professional people? You don't think she's going to vote the way they tell her to vote? I'm going to vote the way you tell me to vote, not the way the politicians will tell her to vote. But anyway, no tickets necessary. You know what? I put that white stuff on my teeth, that strips. You can't talk for about an hour after you just took them off. My teeth are stuck together. But I don't talk real good anyway, but hey, what the hell? I told our guest today, and she's appeared on a lot of radio shows. I told her today, told Peggy, this ain't going to be like any other radio show because I don't give a damn. I'm not a professional radio guy. I don't give a damn. I'll sit there and scratch my ass if I want to, because if I want to, I will. Ain't nobody telling me what to do. But hey, LaToya and Garrett Harner. Hey, big head Garrett Harner. Do people understand? Now, let me get serious. Garrett Harner. Allegedly, I'll say this at this point until I get the FOIs, and I know they're going to try to hide stuff, but don't, because it ain't going to work. He works for SWCC. He works for other municipalities. He works for East St. Louis School District. He works for St. Clair County. And he's an attorney that does other work. This guy's pretty big. I mean, he needs to be chopped up in about 4 sections. He needs 4 of Garrett Harner's to do what he's supposed to be doing. But we're going to find out, Garrett, and you can take all that money and you can give it to LaToya and you can buy her all the barbecue you want. I think that's a little racist, but that's okay. Hey, we're going to do our housekeeping. We're going to come back. Roger Cook will be stopping by. We got Peggy Harris. I'm sorry, Peggy. Let me tell you. I got some. This is unbelievable. I'm sorry. It's Peggy Hubbard. I don't know why the hell I said Harris. But, of course, my producer, he's not going to help me out. Going to make me look like a bigger idiot than I look. But you know what I want to say? You guys can't see, but I'm glad I got him because there's only one bigger idiot in the room than me. And it ain't Roger Cook, and it ain't Peggy Hubbard, but Peggy, I apologize. Peggy Hubbard, her husband is Officer Charles Hubbard. And you won't believe this story. And it just shows you once again how not our law enforcement, not our proud, heroic military people, but our politicians who dictate to both our professional law enforcement and also our proud, heroic military, how they screw up everything, how they give a damn less about us, the people. They just give a damn about themselves, their families, and their close friends. Come celebrate with us. 70 years coming up this Saturday, July the 16th. The Red Bud VFW Post 6632 will have their 70th anniversary. They're going to be washer tournaments. They're going to have food. Says bring your lawn chair, spend the day celebrating with us. If we can make it out, guys, we sure will. And I want to thank again Gary and Virgil, who are KQQZ listeners, and more so than that, heroic Vietnam vets. Gary and Virgil and everybody, past, present, and future, our military people. I want to again salute you for all you do. Because of what you did, I can continue to do what I do. Our good friend, and we're supporting him, and I think all the good people of St. Clair County will be supporting him. The golf tournament fundraiser, a 4-man scramble for Dallas and Roger Cook. Roger Cook is our candidate, the people's candidate for St. Clair County Board Chairman, and Dallas Cook is the candidate for St. Clair County Circuit Clerk. That'll be held at the Archers Golf Course next Thursday, July the 21st. Registration at door starts at 11:30 a.m. Shotgun start at 1 o'clock. I guess I can't make it there. I'm a felon. I can't be around guns, so maybe I have a shotgun start up at the courthouse. Well, that's a different story. Politically, of course, and you know what I'm talking about. Going to have appetizers afterwards at Cutter's Bar and Grill, located at 239 Carlisle Avenue in Belleville. If you want to get involved, and you should, because there's going to be a lot of people there. We're going to talk politics. We're going to talk what's best for St. Clair County. You can contact Jessica at 618-301-7484. When Roger comes in, we'll talk about that a little bit more. Don't forget our good friends in Freeburg. They're having their Freeburg Police and Public Safety fundraiser coming up this Saturday, July the 16th. That'll be held at Clinton Hills Golf Course. It's a 4-person scramble. It's to help the Canine Corps in Freeburg, and I want to again salute all you good people in Freeburg. Mayor Seth Spicer, his son just got married, proud Marine, great young man. And also want to salute Matt Trout. He's a village trustee who's putting this together to try to get funds for their canine officer. And you can get a hold of Matt Trout at 618-410-8077. The Granite City Braves, their baseball team, will be holding tryouts On Sunday, July the 17th, this Sunday, tryouts will be held at the Hartford Community Park and are open to any boy born on or after May the 1st, 2005. It says, please call Coach Josh Mills at 618-823-7070 in order to register. And Tim Spieswalk, thank you very much. The summer picnic, our good friends out at the Quail Club. I had my friend come by and say, hey, you ignorant son of a bitch, here's some of the things we do. They're having their summer picnic at the Quail Club, the Belleville Quail Club, located at 8303 Concordia Road in Belleville, to be held next Saturday, July the 23rd. It says bring friends and family. Going to have giant chicken wings, barbecue pork, hamburgers, hot dogs, corn dogs, blah, blah, blah. They're going to have everything. Kids' yard sale, cake wheel, beer garden. Got to have a beer garden. It says come relax, cool down, great summer fun. We were there last year. It says don't forget to bring your swimsuit and towel. That's the summer picnic at the Quail Club, Saturday, July the 23rd. Don't forget you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper of Radio. You can go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling, for the best of all three of our stations. You can listen to my repeat performance every day at 4 o'clock p.m., Monday through Friday. And now broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night at the stroke of midnight. Please like us on Facebook, KQQZ 1190 AM, or our sister station for the best in golden oldies, KZQZ 1430 AM. You can go to my personal page, Fans of the Grim Reaper, and now I think they've got a Bob Romanik for state rep. You can also go to that page. I'm not looking for money. I'm looking for support, and I'm looking for advice, so give me both. Don't tell me to jump off a cliff or kiss your ass. I mean, I've had that advice given to me many, many times. Don't need that again. And don't forget, if you want to see the best in cartoons, and we've got an X-rated section for the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. We've got a lot of cartoons. We just put some up, and I about busted a gut. Mary Turdman, Mary Thurman, and Bar Viviano. They've got them in some kind of stripper, sexy outfits. And of course, Doug, I wish I was a man, Jameson, the leader, the illustrious leader of the St. Clair County Republican Party, which I think the membership's about 4 people, minus 2. But go to the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition on Facebook. Funnier than hell. Funnier than my show. And I got a serious political show, so that's how funny it is. On this date, July the 13th, 1837, Buckingham Palace became the first new residence for English royalty. On this date, July the 13th, 1863, anti-draft riots broke out in New York City. Nearly 1,000 people were killed or wounded before the federal troops restored order 3 days later. I guess violence has been going on in our country. We are a violent country. On this date, July the 13th, 1880, I don't know why I circled this, Stephen D. Field patented an electric streetcar. Who gives a damn? On this date, July the 13th, 1934, I give a damn about this, Babe Ruth hit his 70th home run. And, you know, I used to eat those Baby Ruths, but the chocolate kind of give me heartburn. On this date, July the 13th, 1938, spectators paid 25 cents to witness the first television theater that opened in Boston, Massachusetts. On this date, July the 13th, 1960, Senator John F. Kennedy of Massachusetts was nominated by the Democratic National Convention for the presidency of the United States. On this date, July the 13th, 1967, once again, race-related rioting broke out in Newark, New Jersey. By the time the violence ended, 3 days later, 27 people had been killed. On this date, July the 13th, 1970, the FBI named the Black Panthers the most dangerous and extremist group of the year. Now they tell me they formed the new Black Panthers, and so we'll see where that goes. On this date, July the 13th, 1982, the first All-Star game, the baseball All-Star game, was hosted outside the United States in Montreal's Olympic Stadium. Well, there's a good one, last but not least. On this date, July the 13th, 1985, President Reagan underwent surgery to remove a cancerous tumor from his colon. They may eventually have someone from Mark Sweet Cakes Kern's camp want to know that if he'd like to have his colon checked, and I kind of think he does, if you know what I mean. He's a healthy kind of guy. But hey, Kern, you can't have your colon checked every day. Yeah, that don't count. That don't count. that becomes a little more sexual than medical, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. That's what happened on this date, July the 13th, throughout all these years in our world's history. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Peggy Hubbard. We're going to talk about this egregious situation in Belleville. We're going to talk about the rioting. We're going to talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about, because we are America's voice of freedom, definitely the patriot. You can call toll-free anytime. Maybe you won't get through because I'm ranting and raving, but give it a try. Toll-free, 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, insane broadcasting at its finest, and we are radical radio. Don't give a damn. We're crazy radio. We do not give a damn. But what we do give a damn about, we are, as always, and very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Got a few little things before we get to our guest. Number one, former church elder, and this pisses me off, sends the 14 years on molestation charges. Now I say, and I don't give a damn if I get elected state representative, any son of a bitch that does anything sexual or otherwise to a child should have. I know nobody cares about the death penalty. You care about the death penalty if they kill one of your family members, I'll bet you. Two things. I want the family to decide if the guy's going to live in prison forever or die. And I want the family to decide how he's going to die. And I want the family to kill the son of a bitch if they want to. That'll be a little closure. But this crap just pisses me off. Here's this asswipe, no good for nothing dentist, Theurrer, pleaded guilty. This no good son of a bitch, 67 years old. And Barra Civic, what an idiot you are. I guarantee if it had been your granddaughter, you'd have killed the son of, well, you ain't that much of a man. I'd have killed the bastard. I'd have cut his head off, shoved up his ass, and kicked him down the courthouse steps. This son of a bitch gets 14 years having sex, predatory criminal sexual assault with the molestation of a girl. A 7-year-old girl. You rotten bastard, no-count son of a bitch. I swear, if there is a God, I swear to God, I'd tell him to let you go. And I would cut your head off with a butter knife. And not politically, of course, not politically. How the hell he let these bastards get away with that crap? Now, it's a state charge, so I don't know if it's a day for a day like it used to be. This no good son of a bitch going to do less than 7 years for molesting, having sex, and raping somebody's 7-year-old daughter. Barra Civic, guarantee you if it was your daughter, granddaughter, it'd be a different story, wouldn't it? That's the problem, people. Let's take our country back. And I'm not talking about white, black. I'm not talking about this crap that's going on, Black Lives Matter. Let's take our country back. Maybe if we take our country back, these black people that I think are wrong with this Black Lives Matter, that's my personal opinion because I believe all lives matter, maybe they wouldn't be so desperate. I think a lot of this crime, I think a lot of this violence is desperation coming out, not just in the black community, but in the white community, because these rotten ass white politicians don't give a damn. They give a damn less about us people, so let's give a damn less about them. But anyway, this no good. In exchange for his guilty plea, eight other felony sexual crimes were dismissed. St. Clair County Chief Judge John Barasevic sentenced them on June the 28th to, in essence, 7 years in prison for raping a 7-year-old girl, a young girl. Think about it. And any son of a bitch, good, bad, ugly, don't care, any bastard worse or more low life than me, and that takes a lot, I guess, to be more low life than me if you listen to my political enemies. Why would somebody do something that egregious and then get 7 years in essence? Unbelievable. It's like the white guy that got a year for running over that black man down on 8th Street in East St. Louis. Because these politicians put these judges in. This is not a position of honor to be a judge in St. Clair County. It's a political position. Anyway, had to say that. One last thing before we get to our guest. Man curses police. This is a black guy. Don't care black, white, green, yellow. Shoots up Indianapolis officer's home. Now, I'm going to tell you what. Now it's bad. When these police officers... And I don't say the bums with the badges. These guys that are killing these policemen, these not policemen, I apologize. These bums with badges that are killing people under the auspices of law enforcement, let's put them in jail forever. I'm for killing them, but that's just my personal opinion. But now when these guys, black or white, thugs, are coming around a police officer's house, going to screw with their family, you're going to see some crap. I've been a policeman a long time. You come around my house screwing my family, I'll take a machine gun and I'll kill every one of you son of a bitches. I'll kill you twice. I'll shove the gun up your ass and pull the trigger after you're dead. And I'm not being funny, people. Now they're going around to the police officers' homes with their children. I don't see the police officers black or white. This is not a color thing. They're all blue to me. I don't see them going around the ass-white criminals' houses and messing with the criminals' family. It's unbelievable what's happening here, people. We have to understand. Now, you may not like the policemen because they give you a ticket. They may harass you when you don't feel you need harass. Most of the time we do. But like Carl Officer said yesterday, policeman stops you, don't get violent. Take care of it in court. When I got arrested by Mrs. Kern, I was as nice as I could be. I'm not going to give them the opportunity, not that they would have taken it. Give them the opportunity to say I did something wrong. Take your 10, 15 minutes of humiliation. I put my hands behind my back. They cuffed me and stuffed me, put me in a car, towed my clown car on a Class A misdemeanor when they could have called me in. And then I beat them in 5 minutes, cost you people $150,000. I love to rub that in, not to you guys, because you guys paid the money. The politicians cost you to pay the money. But it's getting worse every day. With me, a beautiful lady and her husband, kind of a handsome guy. And he's not beautiful. He looks okay to me. What the hell do I know? It's Officer Charles Hubbard. He's a Hillsdale police officer, and I'm going to talk to Charles. Asked not to talk because there's still things going on, and I understand that, but nobody can keep his wife from talking. This is America. Beautiful, beautiful lady, a proud black lady, Peggy Hubbard from Belleville. Peggy, how the hell you doing, honey?
Pretty good, Bob. Listen,
now can you give us a little backdrop on this story with your husband?
Well, on July 3rd, around 12:30 in the morning, Charles had a traffic stop, and the guy had, we come to find out he had a restraining order. Charles was just going to issue him a ticket for no insurance. Uh-huh. And what had happened was when he went back to the car to write the citation, check to see everything was good, he found out that this guy had a felony restraining order against him. And he was just so happens parked outside the house where he had the restraining order from.
Okay.
So Charles goes back to the car and says, you have a felony restraining order. You need to come with me. We're not going to do this in front of your child that's in the back seat. We're going to do this quietly.
Very commendable.
Yeah. So the guy came out, and he came out, put one hand up, raised up the other hand, and shot Charles twice. Once in the left, once in the right. The bullet went through his shoulder, out his lower back, and was embedded in his vest. The second shot, when he put his arm up to block the shot from his head, went through his arm and above his chest. Mind you, this gutless bastard left his baby in the car and ran. Charles was able to return fire and put him down. Now,
Did he kill him or just wound him?
He wounded him.
Well,
hit him
hell.
twice.
Bad shot, Charles, but go ahead.
Well, he was carrying a 45, and he's used to carrying a Glock. There's a
Okay.
big difference. So when you're shot in both sides, it's kind of hard to beat
I was
down.
making a little fun. I wish you would have killed him, but that's okay. You shoot a police officer, you need to die. But go ahead, Peggy.
So with that, I get a call around 1. Well, I get a knock on the door from Belleville Sergeant knocking on my door. And I get the knock on the door that no police officer wife ever wants to get. No spouse ever wants this knock at their door.
Yeah.
And I answered the door and I said, it's either my husband or it's my son. He said, ma'am, it's your husband. I'm sorry to inform you. And I dropped to my knees. He has been shot in the line of duty.
Okay.
I'm going nuts, Bob, at this time. I'm screaming, I'm crying. Well, we think he's going to be okay. We're not sure.
Well, they just knew he got shot. They didn't know all the particulars.
Right. They don't know all the particulars. So I'm running through the house. I'm waking up my daughter who's visiting us with our grandchildren. Daddy's been shot. I need to get to the hospital. Daddy's been shot. And I'm trying to get dressed. I'm bawling my eyes out. And I get my clothes on, go to the front door, grab my purse. I said, let's go. The Belleville Sergeant, and I know he's doing his job.
Right.
He's
let's don't hold
orders.
it against him. That's right.
He's taking orders. He said, well, ma'am, I'm sorry, but we can't take you to the hospital. And I go, why can't you take me to the hospital? My husband has been shot twice. You just told me, and you cannot take me?
And you're not capable of driving at this point because you don't know what kind of condition he's in.
Exactly.
Right.
And I don't know what hospital he's at. So I don't know. So I'm going, okay, why can't you take me? Well, we have been ordered not to. By who? By his lieutenant.
Well, who was ordered by the chief because it had to get clearance from the chief for an incident that serious.
So I'm telling this sergeant, you need to get this SOB, this bastard on the line. I need to talk to him. This is a police officer that is shot. This is my husband. And no sooner than I'm getting ready to call the department to raise holy hell, I get a call from St. Louis City, Lieutenant Jerry Foster. I love that man. He calls me and said, Peggy, we're on the way. I'm coming to get you. Now, this is a St. Louis City police officer.
Coming way over here to Belleville.
To Belleville to get me. St. Louis City. Now, I've been a citizen of Belleville for 15 years. Paid my taxes. Voted in every election. Volunteered at the schools. Volunteered for the police officers here. I did a viral video back in 2015 about the Black Lives Matter. That video just went circulated again after this shooting with Dallas. Went over 24 million as of this morning. Speaking out for the police officers. Speaking out for all the cops in this area.
Wait a minute. That's kind of novel. I have a black lady, proud black lady speaking out for the police officers.
Yeah.
Well, that's, but Peggy, let me give a little other background. I personally think it was because I know you were going to come out and run against one of the candidates, one of the chosen few up here in Belleville.
Yes,
and I have to say, I think that was the big underlying factor because these rotten bastards, they take politics so serious, they'd probably kill politically. And I believe that's the backdrop to why they didn't do anything for you when your husband, Officer Hubbard, 26 years officer from Hillsdale, gets shot. They don't give a damn because it's about politics. It's not about humanity. It's not about integrity. It's about politics for these rotten bastards in St. Clair County. Don't you think that may have a little bit to do with it?
Bob, when you... Yeah, I went out and tried to get signatures. I was 112 short. And I think I would have gave this man a run for his money. And from what I understand, they said he was probably a little intimidated because here's a lady who's not afraid to speak her mind and speak up. Now, my husband is a police officer. When you're a cop, you're not white. You're not black.
You're blue.
You are blue.
Right.
When you put on that badge and when you put on that uniform, you're blue. Now, when the Baldwin cop got shot, 3 days after my husband got shot, his family lives in Hillsboro, Missouri. Don't you know they drove all the way to Hillsboro to go get his family?
Oh, I believe that.
I live 24 miles from St. Louis City. He was taken to Barnes Hospital when I found out from the lieutenant who picked me up. Belleville couldn't give me the courtesy. And this man knows Chief Clay knows my husband. He knows my husband personally. I have business dealings with his son and his daughter-in-law. And you couldn't give me the courtesy of a fallen police officer to take me to the hospital to be by my husband's side?
Yeah. No, that's not a courtesy, Peggy. That's an obligation. That's an obligation from one police officer to another. But here, Peggy, and I have to say this. I want to preface this. People, don't think that this goes on in all police communities. And I want to personally also thank Lieutenant Jerry Foster from the St. Louis City Police Department for his actions, being a decent police officer, worrying about somebody else's family. But Peggy, this police department's not run by police officers. It's run by
the political machine.
It's run by Mark Eckert, Maximus Vaginas, Big Pussy, Mark Eckert, and that plantation Negro, and I mean that. Every black person should be ashamed of Chief Bill Clay. That sumbitch steps and fetch for these white boys up here. Whatever they tell him to do, he's stepping and fetching. He needs to get a job in the theater or Dancing with the Stars, because he is hurt. This black man has hurt this town that is trying to come together, black and white. He has helped tear it apart, tear the black and white community apart. You're a proud black lady. You agree or not, Peggy?
I agree, because I haven't seen Clay go down to Freedom Drive, where all the problems are. I haven't seen him go down there. I haven't seen him come and talk to any of us black citizens about any of our concerns. I have not seen him do any of these things. Now, I'm sorry. Yeah, he's a family friend, but this is a police officer first. This is a family member first. When you're a police officer, you are a family. Doesn't matter if you serve in St. Louis City, St. Louis County, St. Clair County, Madison County, Monroe County. When you're a cop, you are a family of blue. You take care of your own. To be told in your hour of need that they're not going to help you, what does that say about our city? What does that say about our politicians? You don't care enough about your citizens, especially a cop's family, to come to their aid and help them and be with them. Now, that poor little sergeant, bless his heart, felt so bad.
Oh, I believe he did.
He came to my house every day after work to check on us, to see if we needed anything on his own time.
Yeah, but Peggy, don't think that you were disrespected, because my pop always told me you can't expect to get respect from someone who doesn't respect themselves. And these rotten bastards up here, they don't know what respect is, Peggy. They've never practiced it. They've never had to.
I got another one for you. I did a radio show with another radio station.
No, real radio station.
No,
go ahead and say it.
No, I didn't say that. I did one with another radio station yesterday. And I brought this up, too. Not only was Charles and I disrespected by Belleville, but also there is an organization called Backstoppers.
Right. Great organization.
Great organization up until. Now, Charles was shot 3 days prior to the Baldwin police officer being shot. And shot twice. And was able to return fire. Did not go down. He stood up. So here it is, 3 days later, Baldwin officer shot. They haul ass down to Hillsborough to go get his family. Okay, that's done. Now they come out with a fundraiser. Now, Backstoppers is an organization that gives money to fallen officers that are killed on the line of duty, but they also give to officers that are also shot in the line of duty. And they said your condition has to be catastrophic. Bob, damn it, you know what? Anytime a police officer is shot, it is catastrophic.
Hey, Peggy, I cannot agree with you anymore. Listen, we're going to have to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Peggy Hubbard. She's the wife of Charles Hubbard, the Hillsdale police officer who was shot. And the mayor and the chief of Belleville would not let one of their officers take his wife, Peggy, distraught as she was, would not let the police department take her to the hospital. What a no-good bunch of crap. What a no-good son of a bitch you are, Chief Clay. And don't forget, the mayor, the illustrious mayor, Mark Maximus Vaginas Eckert. We'll be back right after this break. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio. And you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM. Simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice. of freedom, Radical Radio. And we are, as always, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. With me today, Charles and Peggy Hubbard. Charles, a police officer of 26 years, Hillsdale, highly decorated, I'm sure, and recognized police officer, gets shot. They come to Peggy Hubbard's house. She lives in Belleville, and I'm not casting a bad light on the policeman. They advise her husband been shot. She's all distraught. She can't drive. But Belleville, because of Clay, the chief, and Eckert, Maximus Vaginas, the mayor, the sergeant says, I'm sorry, but I can't take you to the hospital. So St. Louis City comes over, takes Peggy Hubbard, who, if somebody said your family member was shot, you couldn't drive either. But St. Louis comes over all the way from St. Louis to Belleville and drives her to the hospital. And again, we want to salute Lieutenant Jerry Foster and the proud members of the St. Louis Police Department. And Peggy, I'm going to give you the last word, but it's got to piss you off.
Yeah. Beyond compare. You know, and I've been dealing with a lot with his injuries. He can't go back to work. He's not going to be going back to work for a while because he has some sort of nerve damage to his arm and back.
Yeah, I know. I hit him on the back, and yeah. I apologize.
And for an organization, like I was just saying, like Backstoppers, that wouldn't even help us. That the one officer was shot, they came and gave him a check of $5,000. 3 days prior, my husband was shot twice, and they tell me that it is not a criteria of their standards for him being shot that they will give him a donation. This is Backstoppers. But the Fallen Officer or the Fallen Heroes Fund of Illinois called me the next day, came to my house, checks on me every single day to make sure my husband is okay. And I would like for people to support the Fallen Officer Fund of Illinois, because Backstoppers, for all of their good works, this is bad what they did to a fallen officer. You overlook one because of the community he works in, which is a black community, but you have a white officer who's shot in Baldwin, a white cop, you give him a check for $5,000, and this poor black cop from a black community, a poor one, he gets zilch. And my thing is this, and my last statement to the public that is listening, Black Lives Matter only if a white cop shoots a black person. Black lives has got to matter for black people first, especially in East St. Louis, especially in Washington Park, especially in Allerton, Brooklyn, and Venice. Black lives has got to matter to black people first. If the police officer pulls your butt over, comply. Listen, take your ticket and go on about your business. That is all you got to do. Because if you don't, and you come across another cop, and we're shooting cops and we are killing cops, all bets are off.
Right.
Comply. That's all you got to do. And let that officer come home to his family.
Peggy Hubbard couldn't said it any better. Black lives do matter. The black lives matter when blacks are killing blacks, but apparently to some people it doesn't. St. Louis, Chicago, 60 shootings, killings every day. But yeah. You're right, Peggy, and it shouldn't be a racial statement. When a policeman, black or white, shoots a criminal, if he's right, he's right. If he's wrong, he's wrong. But I agree, and people say, hey, Bob Romanik, you're a little racist. But no, I think that the black community should get together, worry about the white cops and the black cops killing the blacks, but let's worry about the blacks killing the blacks, because that's where the vast majority of the killings are coming from.
That's where it is.
Mrs. Peggy Hubbard, you and Charles, I want to salute Charles for all the great work he's done with the Hillsdale Police Department. Hope he gets feeling better. I want to apologize for patting him on the back where he got shot. See, that's how stupid I am. I should have known better, but what the hell. Mrs. Peggy Hubbard and Charles Hubbard, police officer for Hillsdale, we wish you the best, and hopefully the Backstoppers will contact you. because what's fair for one is fair for all. And again,
Exactly.
it's not a black officer or white officer, it's a blue officer. Thank you very much. We're running out of time. Got to go. See everybody tomorrow. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. In passing, I have to say, hey, Clay, hey, you rotten idiot, you plantation Negro, the utmost, not a proud black man. Should be a proud black man representing the community, black and white, but you're a plantation Negro stepping and fetching for these white idiots in Belleville. So you feel free to call and defend yourself, you rotten bastard. Hey, and don't forget, you white, ignorant, stupid son of a bitch, Maximus Vaginus, the ill-illustrious mayor, if that's a word, of Belleville, Mark Maximus Vaginus Eckert. You'll make sure your family gets protected. What about everybody else's family, you ass white bastards? Let's continue, people, because I go crazy on these bastards because they need to be gone crazy on black and white. They're all a bunch of thug, rotten bastard, political, parasitical punks. These politicians, these no-count, perverted son of a bitches. We got to get rid of them at some point in time. And the only way we can do that is continue to unite. Men, women, black, white, Democrats and Republicans, don't give a damn. Let's all unite and continue to expose these asswipe, low-life, bottom-feeding bastards. And I learned that because that's what they call me. Sounds good, so I'm using it. And at the end of the day, let's do what we have to do. And I'm serious as a heart attack. We have to destroy these bastards because it's like cancer. It's like terminal cancer. It never gets better. We have to contain it. We have to destroy it. So let's destroy these ass white bastards, black and white politicians. Let's destroy them politically, of course, right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats. And they're coming to take me